Well, it's Friday. We're ready for the weekend and to do a little time on the water. You know what time it is. It's to bring in Captain Dylan Hubbard from Hubbard's Marina with the Good Catch Fishing Report. Hey, Dylan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Russell. Good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. I had some good time off. Thank you. All right, shall we start with inshore? What's biting?
Well, right now, the Pompano Bite has really picked up. And these Pompano, they're incredibly good eating fish. And they're very unique. They like cruising those sandy areas along our beaches, along those sandier passes, and even some of those sandy areas up in the bay, like the edges of the channels and grass flats. And we see those Pompano love crustaceans. Things like sand fleas, shrimp, small fiddler crabs, all great options for those Pompano on the bottom. But most people who really target Pompano use those Pompano jigs, like the crazy jigs, the little featherhead jigs. Anything that can bounce along the bottom and make those little puffs of sand will attract those good eating Pompano. Early morning time is definitely the best time to target them when that water's kind of calm and clear. And the same thing with those mackerel. The mackerel bite has been really good along our beaches, along those local fishing piers, around the bridges of Tampa Bay. We're seeing a lot of active mackerel hanging on those bait schools. Anywhere that's going to hold and attract bait to kind of congregate is where you're going to find a lot of actively feeding mackerel in the bay. Even edges of grass flats and around some of those islands that have those deeper drop-offs, we're seeing those mackerel really love those fast-moving, flashy lures for sure. We're seeing some sheep's head still. The sheep's head bite's going pretty well. It slowed down a little bit. They're not quite as thick, but guys are still catching quite a few of them. Small fiddler crabs, small pieces of shrimp, cut clams, oysters, and light tackle are still working really well. And if you're using a small piece of shrimp, you have a great chance for some of those mangrove snapper, which are really going to start getting more and more prolific as those sheep's head kind of back off around the structures of the area. We're still seeing black drum as well around the passes, local bridges, edges of grass flats are moving around, and occasionally along our beaches. Black drum are going to get a little less prolific, but we're still seeing some pretty good numbers. The big news is the snook. The snook are definitely starting to move back into the passes. They're in a really strong kind of spring pattern right now. They've moved out of the rivers. They're staging up at the mouths of those bayous and bays, and they're starting to make their way back along to the beach area. So we're excited about that. We've seen a lot of trout action on the edges of those grass flats, in those cuts. Anywhere those trout can stage up and ambush passing bait is a good place to look for them. We're seeing flounder do the same thing around local structures on sandy bottom. We've seen a lot of redfish action around those mangrove shorelines, oyster bars, high tide. They're cruising those mangrove shorelines looking for prey. And some early season tarpon have started to show up around those Bay Area bridges. So exciting time of year inshore, Russell.
And you got about 30 seconds to do near shore and offshore, so take it.
All right, right now, near shore and offshore, the big news still continues to be those mackerel and kingfish. The mackerel and kingfish have showed up in big numbers, and it's a great time to go out there to one of those artificial reefs. You can find them easily. They're public information. You go out there, get anchored up, take a 5-gallon bucket of greenbacks that you cast netted inside the bay or around a bridge, and you can chum up those greenbacks with some Boca Coast chum or aquatic nutrition chum with some greenbacks mixed in, and you'll get those mackerel skyrocketing out the water. Light tackle and a long shank 1/0 hook is going to have a ton of mackerel around, and you're going to see those kingfish show up too. We're catching kingfish trolling anywhere from the markers of the local passes all the way out to about 80-90 foot of water. The grouper bite's picking up. We're catching a lot of snapper. We're still seeing hogfish too. So it's a great time to get out there.
We got to go. Hey, you know what? I had a few days off, and I was going to come see you, but I just got busy.
Well, remember, Russell, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too busy.
There it is. There it is. I owe you one. See you, my friend. We'll talk soon.